And finally, we'll end with number 10. Number 10 says, if x equals 4 is a 0, what are the other zeros? What are the others? And they gave you the problem x cubed minus 5x squared plus 5x minus 4 equals 0. So x equals 4 goes in the box. It's already an x-intercept, so that makes less work for us. And we're going to go ahead and pull out all the coefficients. Now, notice how everything is in standard form and everything is there. There's no pieces missing. What happens if there's a piece missing? We would put a 0 for a missing piece. Skip a line, draw a line, bring down the 1. We're going to multiply by the 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. Then we're going to add negative 5 and 4 make negative 1. We're going to multiply again. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. We're going to add again. 5 and a negative 4 make a 1. 4 times 1 makes a 4. And we're going to add one last time. These two added together make 0. And so that is good. That means, if I were over in my little answer box, that means x equals 4 automatically gets written as an answer in the answer box. That's what this smiley face says. Put that in straight into the answer. Now, we're going to take this, and we're going to write 1 minus 1 plus 1. X cubed divided by an x-intercept makes x squared. X squared divided by an x-intercept makes x. X divided by an x-intercept makes no x, or a 1 which doesn't change, plus 1. And negative 4 divided by an x-intercept canceled and got 0, so we're not going to do that. Set this equal to 0. This right here will find the other two missing answers. And what we just created, if I remove the previous step, what we just created was a quadratic. Quadratic formula, b squared minus 4ac. b is negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 1 is 1 minus, and then 4 times a is 1 times c is 1 is 4. That's going to get negative 3. Send that to our quadratic formula. X equals negative b. b is negative, so negative of the negative is a big positive, plus or minus the square root. b squared minus 4ac is negative 3. All over 2a. a is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. It's just quadratic formula, algebra 1. If we look at this, 3 cannot be factor treed, but a square root of a negative is I. So we're going to write x equals 1 over 2 plus or minus over 2. Put 2 under both. The negative inside creates an I. 3 can't be factor treed, so we're going to leave it as square root 3. And that is going to be considered our other answers to this problem. X equals half plus or minus I square root 3 over 2. So notice here, we had to use the quadratic formula one time on the back page, and we had to use the quadratic formula 1, 2, 3 times on the front page. And sometimes the quadratic formula has to be factor treed, sometimes it works out nicely, and sometimes it creates an I. And sometimes it doesn't need to be factor treed, depending on the number.